Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. All right, let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those muscle cars from the early 70s and late 60s, that the rougher they sound, the stronger the sound was, the better it was. And those cars that look as mean as they drove. Well, you are looking at the right video. Let's give it a proper presentation. What I got for you right now, it's a 143 scale 1970 Plymouth Road Runner. Now, this is the famous Road Runner. Beep beep. Remember that cartoon? Well, it reminds me of that. Well, actually, I forgot what from what years the Roadrunner from Plymouth had the cartoon drawn into. Actually, it is. If you see it on the side, you see it in the front of the fender. It has the Roadrunner there. You see, I didn't notice that until it was going around right now. Beautiful car. I love the color. You know how like those bright colors, it stands out to my eye. And this monster of a car. It's just quite attractive. Let's talk about engine. This model had three different engines. The smallest one was a 6.3 liter V8. The second one was a 7.0 Hemi V8, and the biggest one was a 7.2 V8. You know, those big, huge engines, you know, the gas definitely was not none of their concern. Back in the early 70s and the 60s, the gasoline was very cheap. After 1973, when there was a gasoline or petrol embargo, big time, all these muscle cars, little by little, started disappearing because they were, I mean, disappearing as a new model. They still kept the muscle cars, the one that they sold, but they were not as a new car. They were not as accepted because obviously these drink gasoline like there's a party, like in a bar when you're gonna when people start getting tipsy and they want more and more liquor. These cars were like that when they were drinking that gasoline. They wanted more and more and more. Transmissions, you have a 3-speed automatic, or you had the option of a 4-speed manual. Yes, my friends, these cars also had the manual option. Not many American cars were can say that back in the days because you know American models, they're not really into the manuals. Now, the 1970 model brought us I'm going to read this real quick. The 1970 model year brought new front, rear end looks from the 1968 because this is the very first generation of the Plymouth Road Runner that came out from 1968 till 1970. So the 1970, this was the last year, had a new front end and a new rear end from the previous 1968 model. So that was quite interesting. It says the sales of the 1970 Road Runner dropped by more than 50% over their previous year to around 41,000 units. It says about 1,000 ahead of the Pontiac GTO, but still about 13,000 units behind the Chevy Chevelle SS. You know, the Pontiac GTO and the Chevy Chevelle was the biggest competition, the true muscle cars of the era of that of those years. Nice, really nice looking car. Really, really good looking. All right, guys. I'm gonna let this beautiful car go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. These I gotta do a lot more of these American muscle cars. I've never been a crazy fan of the muscle cars. Yes, I know. What am I thinking? These cars really have the looks, the power, but you know, you have to have an eye for it. You have to like it. You have to appreciate it. And when I was younger, I was not really into them like that. Believe it or not, I was more into the little cute little classic cars like the Volkswagen Golf. I don't know, even the Citroen AMI 8 or AMI 6, things like that. And you're gonna tell me, really, diecast fan, you're gonna choose a Volkswagen Golf over a Plymouth Road Runner? Hey, that was just I was more attracted to the more simple cars. But nowadays, I got an eye for everything. Everything got four wheels or even three wheels. Like I have a few three wheeler like the Reliant British car and others. Uh, I'm like the Vespa too, the Vespa wagon, the pickup type of car. So yeah, definitely I got an eye for all type of cars. It depends, every car is different. Every car has different public towards. All right, everyone. Hopefully you are enjoying this car. Before I forget, this is a diecast and is made by IXO, and I truly appreciate all the amount of details they put into it. From the road runner on the side, I see the lettering by the hood that's right next to the open, the airflow part, and all those little details that really stands out, and it shows that they put effort into it. All right, everyone. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this nice Plymouth from the early 70s. Was it your type of car? Did you like them? Do you like muscle cars? Were they actually sold in your country? Do you actually see them around, like in a car show or a museum? Or, maybe your neighbor from back in the 80s had one and you just appreciated looking at it? All right, everyone. Don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. Thank you so much again. Don't forget to click and subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. All right, take care of yourselves more than ever, as I always say, and goodbye.